fixing your shit.
I hope you do. When Call of Duty's good, I like Call of Duty. So
I like watching YouTube videos about the zombie lore.
Sure.
I like playing multiplayer until I
doing.
I like playing multiplayer as like a zone out game at night.
Yeah.
So
we got one more regular news story before the Game Awards. Let's go ahead and bring it up. I find this fascinating, and that is...
I find it to be sad and funny at the same time.
Well, it's weird. Netflix considers Warner Brothers games to be pretty much worthless.
Yeah, they sure do.
Yeah, they do.
So they didn't.
It makes sense to me that they don't care about Warner Brothers games, largely because the entire point of the acquisition is we want to be a streaming monopoly.
I mean, sure.
And being a streaming monopoly is worth way more than these video games could ever hope to be.
I think, yeah, like, that seems more like a statement on just how much money is going on in that realm that like Mortal Kombat doesn't, or Harry Potter video games don't factor.
It's also just, I can't imagine a more clear indicator that this is an anti-consumer merger they're proposing. Like, multiple billions of dollars of revenue has come out of this game's arm of Warner Brothers. Multiple billions. And it's irrelevant to them because the prospective profit they could make from jacking up prices of streaming by being the only game in town is just so much more that those billions are actually meaningless.
Well, yeah, so, you know, people think that Mortal Kombat 1 did 6.2 million copies, which let's assume everyone buys that at $70 a piece. You take out the publisher and everything and other cuts, you say you're making a $50 profit. We'll be generous. You times that by 6.2 million. Yeah, that's $310 million. You take out, you know, let's say that game cost $100 million to make. You're taking home, you know, 210, million bucks, but $210 million is not jack shit when you make $45 billion a year from subscribers.
Yep.
So that's kind of the problem. And
considering the period of time that it takes of development to get those large returns on games, and like the number of them that don't make that, you know, they're making like literally an 80th of what they're making yearly off of their other projects. So like, why would they even consider the video games?
Like the only video game that actually might be worth their fucking time is Hogwarts Legacy, because it's done 30 million units, which would put them well over $1 billion of revenue on that game. So that game is worth it.
It's just
but Hogwarts Legacy.
It's just funny because we used to talk about, you know, games make more money than film, and just the streaming nature that has arisen.
And they still do. It's just games are so decentralized in comparison to streaming. There's decentralization. 5 players in town for streaming,
or less centralized than what's going on with streaming. Streaming itself, like the nature of it, has grown and become the monster that it is. At the same time that AAA game development has gotten out of control, and now you're putting in years more worth of money and effort into something that is, you know, selling more, but the return is lessening.
And it's, you know, you look, you know, we looked at those profit, what was it? It was that percentages for profit that Microsoft was demanding. I forget what the fuck it's called. And like the only company who is doing over 20% on the regular is Nintendo
Right.
from the AAA space. And it's like, all right, well, that's cool, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But that tells you that like video games in the AAA space, they're too big, they're too bloated, they cost too goddamn much.
I think this is the big takeaway from this, really.
It's
I'll say that the Acta Blizzard merger was $68.7 billion, right?
Yep.
And that's not a dissimilar amount of money to the $83 billion being offered by Netflix for Warner Brothers here. And that merger, for people that are really engaged with games, like, obviously it's bad. Like, we all know it's a bad thing that happened. But games are so big that it actually can't like prevent the engagement with video games that we currently have. Like, it can't affect it because there's too many indies, there's too many other developers, there's just too many people outside of the Microsoft monolith for Microsoft to ever truly fully dominate games the way that a merger like this would do to streaming.
And the thing is like
streaming's a smaller game than
video. Well, and I think that people who are really into video games, they're gonna go find those AA titles, those indie games. Like I look at my library of games I bought just this year, and I buy a lot more games than the average person. But like, if you were to cut out AAA entirely and just play indie games and AA games, I would have still played over 20 games this fucking year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's
you still have an endless repertoire of things available to you. Even in AAA, there's a variety of people making AAA games.
But there's just like, what are you gonna do for film? Are you honestly gonna do what people do with games, where you buy all that shit one off? Like, who the fuck is gonna? The
reality for film is that this merger, if it happens, will make the other two major competitors, it would leave them with three other major competitors, right? And two of them would not be able to survive. They just wouldn't. It wouldn't be possible. And so they would eventually be forced to fold into either Netflix or Disney. Yep. Those are going to quite impendingly become the only two streamers in the market, is Netflix and Disney.
Yeah, and man, you want to talk about who actually could probably make a lot of money off of that, by the way, it's Sony. Because Sony doesn't have to close down their properties, they just need to just keep leasing them to these companies. Yeah, like that's what just Netflix, you want to lease K-pop Demon Hunters? Go ahead, here you go. It's and the thing
that too, Netflix with K-pop Demon Hunters, that's like the craziest fucking story of they made so much money. Sony got so fucked by that deal with Netflix. It was like one of the worst business decisions in in probably the past 5 years. It's just billions upon billions of dollars down the toilet for a $20 million profit from Sony. K-pop Demon Hunters is much larger than Frozen. Like,
yes,
it's literally the biggest property that Netflix has ever had, and Sony made $20 million off of making that movie.
Just don't tell Sony that directly, because they'll make a streaming service.
They don't have the swinging power. Not in this market. Not in a market where WB Games is literally worthless to them. It's what's crazy is that if Sony was making this acquisition, if they had a streamer, they would be super happy about the bonus of WB Games. They'd be like, great, we get all this too.
Yeah. Like, if Sony were to go out and do this, which I'm not even sure they would have the revenue to do, and they were doing a streaming service, like, imagine the words Mortal Kombat exclusive on fucking PlayStation
as a bonus on the side of your streaming deal.
PlayStation would be fucking losing their shit.
I think the best case scenario for all the WB properties, if Netflix acquires them and instead of Paramount, is primarily just like another major game group acquiring the rights to all the WB stuff.
Yeah, and we talked.
Isn't going to try and make games, so they're, you know, I mean, they could go to a Sony. They could go to a Sony and be like, "Hey, make all these," and then Sony starts making Lego Star Wars and stuff.
Yeah, the thing is like Netflix has also though like tried to get into video games. Like they've had a couple of games that they publish. They have their weird little streaming thing for games on phone and otherwise. They even have a section on top of Netflix right now called Games. You know, and they're trying. They got Red Dead on here. You can play Street Fighter 4 on here. You know, but yeah, it's
buy Red Dead and Street Fighter 4 still, because like
no, it's part of your.
Like,
it's
that's
part of your
nice little bonus.
It's part of your sub, as far as I know. Let me click on it.
Huh.
Yeah, you just download Netflix and then you stream Red Dead Redemption 1. So
that's interesting.
Yeah, it's weird. Like it's not like, I think they're dipping their toe in it, and they do have like their own mobile games, but it's like, with the exception of select games, it is all mobile. Yeah. So,
well,
yeah.
I wish the best for Mortal Kombat and the developers caught up in that. We'll see what happens with those games.
Yep.
Yeah. All right.
Now it's time.
It's time.
Time.
So we're pulling up. We're gonna be pulling up a story that's kind of just talking about the announcements, right? We're not looking at the awards so much.